to Thing in the News episode number 121. So chat, we have Rosie, haven't seen you in a while. Arms Killer, Skittles, and then Arms Killer again. Well,
Hello, wonderful
Hello.
people.
welcome to this thing that we do 6 days a week. Thanks, Peter coming. I have no idea if Peter's coming, James. I gotta get on for Garmin. We all know you like Garmin.
I don't even know what gammon is.
It's pork.
Ah. So do we have some news?
Funny thing I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
really salty pork. Oh, okay. And you're right, James. I don't know the joke either.
Man let date castrate and then keep his balls in a jar by his bed.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
God damn! Talk about starting strong.
Like, well, why?
Oh, I'm saying what that guy looks like. Yeah, he seems like he'd be the one crazy enough to do that.
A man allegedly castrated his wife. A man allegedly castrated his willing date and kept his severed balls in a jar next to his bedside.
Oh. Oh.
Gary Van Rieswick. Oh, his name sounds Dutch. That makes more sense there.
It's foreign, that's all I know.
It sounds Dutch. That makes sense. But the other man on enots.com for a website for people with fetish for castration.
That exists?
Why is that a thing?
Well, I mean, there was that one dude who met a guy who let him cook and eat him.
Yeah, I think that was some German guy.
Yeah, that was a German.
Yeah. When there's something about somebody who castrated somebody else yesterday.
Was there?
Some story, or day before yesterday.
Was there? What is with the castrations? No, stop it.
Officers who investigate describe the case as sensitive and kind of nuts. Oh, for God's sake. Deputies responded to a home in Sebring, Florida, after a man called 911. What's it, fucking Florida?
Of course, this was Florida.
The man's Dutch, and that makes it more sense now. A Dutch man living in Florida. Okay.
I don't know why I'm surprised I don't know why I was surprised that this. Oh God.
When they knocked on the door, Van Rieswick, 74, allegedly told him he had just castrated a man. Why would you tell him that? Police said deputies found the man on the bed with a towel over his groin, which was bleeding heavily. Nearby, there was a pink container which held 2 body parts. Had recently been much closer to the victim. The victim was taken to the hospital and was later flown to a regional medical center. He's listed in a stable condition. Florida man castrates and keeps penis. Yes. The room was set up. It was a surgical center, like a surgical center with medical equipment. There were people watching Scotland. Hello, boy.
Hello, blonde girl. Wait. Hey. Oh God, that sentence just gets worse the more I read
Hello,
it.
boy. I'm going to assume it's meant to say Scotty or Scotsman because I assume it just all corrected itself. Yeah, the room was set up like a surgical setting with medical equipment and painkillers. There was also a camera set up to record the procedure.
God damn.
He said Van Ryswyk told the victim he had experience on animals, even removed one of their testicles in 2012.
What?
Really?
I'm not assuming you represent Scotland. If I represent Scotland, then there really is no hope.
Uh,
Well, I'd probably do a better job than Nicholas Sturgeon does. According to BuzzFeed News, the man tried to castrate the victim a week earlier, but the man became aroused and ejaculated as he tried to sanitize his penis. What?
what?
Huffington Post.
Hello,
Okay,
H.
time to press the heretics. We said the man also claimed to have carried out a similar procedure on a man in a local motel a few years ago. The other man went to hospital, the police were not informed. Van Ryswyk was arrested on Monday and charged with practicing medicine without a license and resulting in bodily injury, a second-degree felony. His bond was set at $250,000.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's some strange individuals out there.
Yeah. Yeah. What the? Why do you always bring out the worst goddamn stories on days when I don't drink? Why?
Yeah, because I feel like I want to turn you into a fucking alcoholic. That's why.
Yeah. Armsco points out that two women just show up and chatted when we start talking about castration. Coincidence? Probably.
Probably not. But one of them being blind girl is probably not a coincidence.
Oh shit.
Coincidence or wishful thinking?
Ah, good point.
What's the thing for who anyway? Wife applies for a divorce in the United Arab Emirates because husband doesn't argue with her, shows extreme affection, and even helped to clean the house without him asking. Why?
What?
Then? Would you rather be beaten than rough then?
Well, it is. What country is this?
United Arab Emirates.
United Bear.
That explains it then.
Yeah,
So she wants a divorce because he's a cuck.
no, bling if you're in distress.
I'm
I think
in
he's just. So I don't get it. Like, why?
because women are crazy.
That they are.
A woman in the UAE is seeking a divorce because her husband's extreme love sees him help with housework and shower her with her gifts. She told us her Sharia court in foreign that her spouse never argued or yelled at her and was always kind. She reportedly complained his loving compassion is so over the top, and she fell for a split. Because her man don't beat her a bunch of stones, well, yeah, probably. Like, yeah, what would you want? Would you want like fucking a traditional Islamic marriage where you're not allowed to do anything?
Probably.
You can't even leave your own house without your husband's permission.
And without an escort. Christ almighty.
The woman told the court I'm choked by his extreme love and affection. He even insisted me in cleaning the house without me asking her. That's a bad thing, is it?
Apparently so.
I feel something beyond 1950s. Depend the hose we went midway between the two and make up sex.
Make up sex I can completely get behind.
According to the reports, the woman said the couple never had an argument and the husband did not shout during their year-long marriage. When she complained about his weight, the man went on a strict regime of dieting and exercise, which left him with a broken leg. But this did not please the angry wife, who still complained about her husband's many gifts and compliments, according to local media. Women are never happy, are they?
See, I wasn't going to go that far.
Not touching that. Not touching it.
Why not?
Because I have a functioning prefrontal cortex. Because I have a functioning brain, that's why I'm not touching that.
Because my wife might be listening and I want to get laid sometime before I die.
I'm single, so I don't care. You complain you want gifts, you get gifts, then it's too much, and then there's not enough, and then, make up your goddamn mind.
Yeah, once again, not touching this.
When men are sleeping,
That's what she said.
they wake up. What it does fear stoning me, imagine her husband says, because my wife paid me. I'm happy when I'm sleeping, that's right.
There's a
There's a
Batman
Batman
in the waiting room.
Okay.
Batman!
Skittles! Scotty! Trucker!
Batman, what's up?
Duck is a direction in direct opposition to the pull of gravity.
So you don't have when men sleeping, does that count as death or just sleep in general? The eternal sleep. I'm eagerly longing for a single day of dispute, but this seems impossible with my romantic husband. He always forgave me and showered me with daily gifts.
Yeah, I gotta say, I probably wouldn't trust a spouse who didn't argue with me.
Most experts will say that a relationship where there's no arguments is a dying relationship.
Yeah.
Men have you while they're far awake.
Pardon?
I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah. Scotty believes that men have uses while they're awake because Scotty is all about that man love.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just reading
This is now canon.
Yeah.
Scotty's all about the man love. This is canon now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
fucking musicals.
Scotty, no, I'm sorry, but canonical things only ever happen because of mistakes.
And there's no discussion, even an argument, not this hassle-free life obedience. Yeah, the husband begged the court to deny the divorce request, and supposedly let the fucking divorce through, to be honest. I would have always thought it would be the husband. I would have thought it would always be the husband's voice over the wife's, wouldn't it? Over there. Usually is. He told the court it's not fair to judge a marriage for the first year, and everybody learns from their mistakes. I always wish to be the perfect kind husband. Give the couple a chance to settle their disputes.
Well, to be fair, most divorces are instituted by women, and it's usually within the first couple of years for the slightest reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to point out the cause of all divorces is marriage. So,
Oh, that was so insightful.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve
I-
a dingle.
No, it does. No, it
They can't
doesn't.
tell this because
No,
he
it
left
does-
his balls outside the marriage.
Yeah, Batman, I woke up like 20 minutes ago, so don't be expecting hot fire from me tonight.
I never do.
I didn't sleep last night, so expect me to have fucking TV.
I died last night, so
I wish I died last night.
If the wife ain't arguing him back, it means the bondage is just right. I approve of this message.
yeah. If the wife's standing behind your armchair nagging at you when you're trying to watch the sport, you know what that means, don't you?
And also, what if I
Shit.
only had like, I only had like an hour to prepare for this thing, so if it's shit, then you'll know why.
So if your wife is standing behind you while you're trying to watch sport on the TV, nagging you, you know what that means, don't you, Skittles?
You need to return it.
No, it means that the chain on the kitchen sink and their ankle is too long.
Yeah. I like that.
Yep. Oh,
Wetherspoons vows to ban versus last beer prices, but only if we leave the EU in October.
Boom. That's
Boom.
how you get action.
yep.
That's how you actually make actions happen.
It just slash beer prices.
Yeah. Hey, in the 2016 election, Stone Cold Steve Austin said that they would lower beer prices across the nation if he was elected. People wrote in Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would have been one of them, except that I couldn't figure out how to write in on the ballot machines that we had then.
Wetherspoons boss Tim Martin has promised to reduce beer prices to an unbelievable low, but there's a big catch.
Yeah, well, that's all of Scotland voting, getting behind the Brexit then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Founder and chairman of Wetherspoons Pubs, Tim Martin, has made a promise to slash the cost of beer in his 879 pubs across Britain to an unbelievable low after Brexit. But there's just one thing that needs to happen in order for him to put his money where his mouth is. And that's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has to make sure that we leave the EU by the 31st of October. If I can get it done, I want my cheap beer.
Yeah. If he gets us out even soon, yeah, I should have said if he gets us out even sooner, you can have it for free.
Martin says if we leave the customs union on October the 31st, the Wetherspoons will bring the price of beer down to an unbelievable low. How low though?
Unbelievably low.
Mm-hmm.
Like £1 a pint or something. I'll take £1 a pint.
God, I can remember when it used to be £1 a pint.
Yeah, that's called dollar beer night at the one of the bars in my town.
I can remember
Coors Light in the beer.
I
don't drink Coors Light. I'm straight.
I can remember you only needed like a £5 for a good night out because a £5 note would get you 10 pints.
Fuck, you're old.
10 pints isn't a good night out, though. 10 pints is nothing.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when they actually made beer and not alcoholic, not chemical drinks with alcohol in them.
Yeah.
When they actually brewed this stuff.
God, I need to figure out when they moved dollar beer night to.
Yeah, no,
show up with a 20 and show up with a 20 and my night's complete.
No, honey monster, there is no drama. As a guarantee, we have to leave properly. Boris Johnson, no messing around with customs union or any of that funny stuff. The pub boss says he'll be able to offer customers cheap prices because after Brexit, he can do cheaper deals with firms outside the EU.
Good point.
Yeah.
Positives of Brexit, cheaper alcohol.
Yeah, what would really help the pub trade and would actually lower the prices of beer in pubs. Ban supermarkets from selling fucking cans of beer.
No, because
No.
Seriously, the supermarket selling cans of beer and bottles of beer, at like really low prices, is what is pushing up the price of beer in pubs and clubs.
I think if anything, it would drag it down because it offers an alternative.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I don't really go out and drink anymore. Is because for less than half of the money I can fucking buy booze at the store and get trashed in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, but I've got friends who work in the pub trade, and they all say the same thing. Some of them have been working in the pub trade for as long as I've been drinking, and once over you could only get by off licenses outside of the apart from in the pubs, and the price of beer was cheap. It's gone up a ridiculous amount compared to anything else, even with the tobacco.
Also the incredibly heavy amounts of taxes that the government throws on top of it.
I'm just gonna check Discord then.
Yeah, but those taxes go on the stuff that goes in the supermarkets as well.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna check Discord.
Check the code of disc, killer of arms.
Who the hell is Man Bat?
I don't know.
I think it's Green Thunder.
Yeah, I should have looked more into this joke, but yes, Man Bat is a real thing. It's part of Batman's Rogue Gallery.
I know. I know. I just didn't know who was being Man Bat.
And Cryptic says, "Hang on, Skulls."
Penis.
And hello again, Rosie.
Oh, hello, Klepek.
Hello.
He explains we can't get out supplies cheaper. Everything we buy from outside the EU can be tariff-free or mostly tariff-free, which will also make our customers better off. So as we find out as we need to embrace the idea of no-deal Brexit as we don't leave by Halloween. He believes Britain will face years of hell.
Yeah.
Eminem, that's why you didn't get laid.
No, I have Tinder for that. I have Tinder for that.
Is that sound trucker powering up his vehicle mounted laser?
Okay.
God, I hope so.
Hello.
Hello, Legs Savior.
Hello, detective.
We meet again.
Yeah, the Prime Minister has taken a hard line saying there is no prospect of striking a deal unless EU leaders remove the Northern Ireland backstop. The backstop is the clause in the world agreement that would tie the UK to the EU rules to prevent border checks springing up in Northern Ireland. Well, you know what? If they want to stay part of the UK, then they're going to have to accept the fact they may have a hard border between them and the Republic of Ireland. Tough take.
Honestly, either way, it's either that they reunite with the Republic of Ireland, or the Republic of Ireland leaves the EU. Either way, the EU can get fucked, really.
Yeah. Well, the Republic of Ireland is already still in the EU because they had a referendum and they voted to leave. They had another one, they voted to leave. So they
voted against
the
Lisbon Treaty, wasn't it?
Yeah. They fought 3 times until they got the result they wanted.
Oh, so they tried to.
I have a hard time figuring out what Scotsman is saying. Well, Rosie, I kind of figured that one.
Join the club.
Pardon?
What?
10:30.
I've known you for a long time now, but still. What do you think is, Rosie? You still understand me better than a lot of other people do, weirdly enough. Some people whose first language is English who don't understand me.
Hold on, Scotty, what did you say there?
Very funny.
That'll be why I'm chuckling.
With just 70 days left to Brexit, Talks appear dead like that at Mr. Johnson's meeting with Trump and EU chief Donald Tusk at this weekend's EU summit. Hopefully we can just fucking leave so we can get cheaper beer. I'm not able to get cheaper beer.
Why can't we just leave so we can, start being really offensive to the French again?
Why can't you guys just leave because you voted to fucking leave?
Yeah, that as well.
I'd much rather somebody invented.
That's too much to ask for.
I'd rather somebody invented a time machine, go back to 1972, and alter the Prime Minister's mind so that we never actually entered the common market in the first place.
Yeah, or does someone go back to right after World War One and skin Woodrow Wilson alive because this is all his fault. Because he's the one who wanted to start doing this faggoty globalist shit of all the nations, we're all going to hang out and talk to each other, and it's going to be great. It'll prevent wars. No, the fuck it didn't.
To be fair, it'd probably be a better idea to prevent the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand to prevent World War One.
No, to be fair, it would probably be a better idea to go back in time if you're going to mess about with the World War One, alter the outcome so that the United Kingdom ends up owning France.
Oh, that would be actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Or actually just go back in time and prevent Germany from giving them Austria that blank check, because if it wasn't for that, it would have just been Balkan War number 10,000 that no one would care about.
Hold on. No,
to be fair,
they were on our side in World War One and Two. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant said Australia. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Austria.
Austria.
They were on our side in World War One and Two. They were on Germany's side.
Hungarian Empire. Yeah, exactly. On the German side. Which is
they were annexed by Germany. They were annexed by Germany in World War II. Because Hitler wanted to reunite all the
Hitler wanted to reunite, Austria and Hungary back with Germany.
Wasn't really annexed either. They just
it's more like they wanted to go back together.
It was more of a hostile takeover.
Wasn't that hostile?
It was more because of the treaty. They just wanted to spike the treaty, really.
Hello, Jen.
If anything, just say fuck the Treaty of Versailles.
Yeah,
I just say fuck the French then.
Yeah.
What?
I say fuck Woodrow Wilson because this is all his fault.
I remember a time in America's lifespan that some of the states wanted to leave. They weren't allowed to leave either.
Yeah,
they got their ass kicked.
There was an entire war over that.
There's another good thing we could do with a time machine that would improve the history of the world. Whenever you go back in time with the submarine, whenever anybody tries to go west from Europe, you sink that fucking ship. America never gets discovered.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have all the amazing stuff America has invented.
Yes, we would. Only it would be invented in Europe.
Like what? Point proven. Anyway. Shirtless man.
No. You can't see or hear, but I'm just blinking in disbelief at you because I had forgotten that. Yeah, you're a fucking Ghazi Kodzo when it comes to this shit. Oh, everything was created in Scotland. We're the fucking epicenter of the world.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. Skittles, the Scotland he's on about was invented by England.
No, Scotland game.
I don't know about invented, but some great improvements got added to the assembly line, the light bulb, and generally electricity from the U.S.
The light bulb was invented in several different places at the same time, independently.
Yeah, well, freaking Edison did improve the shit out of it.
There was already people living on the North American continent. How the hell did somebody discover it?
Because Edison. Well, Europe discovering is what they're talking about, and I'm very interested. I'm very interested in hearing the rest of this article because I'm just been staring at this headline and I
Yeah,
love
you're
it.
just wondering how you got caught, aren't you?
Well, the shirtless man told not to carry life-size doll in public after it is mistaken for unconscious women.
That's not an unconscious woman. That's my girlfriend.
Yeah, it probably is. Knowing you, that probably is your girlfriend.
Yeah, but let's face it, no Green Thunder. He'd have to use chloroform on the doll.
And
I
Jen's a
can't
girl.
afford a real doll. They're like $1,000, and that's just the starting price.
Oh, they're way more than that. But
He's just a fucking piece of wood.
But more importantly, I didn't know that Green and Scotsman had the same girlfriend.
Actually,
Green Thunder is just a fucking wood with a piece of hole drilled through it.
it's not even nuts. It's a bin liner with some Play-Doh on it.
A shirtless man was seen dragging a life-size doll through Kansas City. On Tuesday, was told by authorities not to carry it in public anymore after passerby mistook the figure for an unconscious woman.
It would have been funny if he
Local
was
police
a bit
officers
soft.
responded just after 11:30 a.m. No, Rosie, no, she's not. that ended. Oh well. Local officers responded just after 11:30 a.m. to calls about a man dragging what appeared to be an unconscious woman. Caller said it looked like the man wanted to throw the woman over a bridge. No, Rosie, no, she's not. We're just friends now.
Wouldn't it have been funny if he'd actually had a speaker installed in the mouth of the doll and his girlfriend sitting up now in the house, yeah, with a mic connected to the speakers. Like, help! He's trying to kill me. Would have been a hell of a prank to play on the public.
Oh yeah, that would be. I mean, you get arrested pretty quickly, but
And then let off pretty quickly as well.
you would just have to hope that ends up on live PD or something.
Oh, so coming kicked out, is he?
Well,
No,
You just remind me of the funniest prank ever played on the human population. Some dude in what's that? No, it was that one, the Canadian state. Fucking hell, why can't I remember the name of it? It's the United States, but it's in Canada. Alaska, that's it. Some dude like
a lot from the US.
yeah.
but he took a bunch of tires to the top of a dormant volcano and set them on fire to make everyone in that town think that the volcano was fixing to erupt.
oh, what a dick!
Rosie, don't ask.
I like this man.
Rosie, don't ask. Just know that we're not a thing anymore. And here's
Where did this story happen?
Kansas City.
I'm honestly shocked that it wasn't in Florida.
Yeah. I'm actually shocked.
And here's today's episode of not what we expected going on into that.
I'm actually shocked that
Florida-
something interesting happened in Kansas.
Kansas City police said of the incident on Twitter. No worries, Rosie. Witnesses saw the man drop the doll on the sidewalk, drag her head over the curb, and sling her over the shoulder. Police said one caller said to the man, yelling "Savior." The man kept yelling "Savior." Police tweet said multiple officers responded quickly. A police statement said they found the man. And what they encountered was totally unexpected. It's Kansas, the windy city. I don't know.
No, that's Chicago.
Jinx.
Yeah.
That's Chicago.
Chirac.
The man told police he found a doll in a trash bin and was told not to carry it around. No one was arrested or cited. We didn't do anything wrong, so yeah.
Yeah, just being a weirdo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The question
about
is, what does he do with that doll at home?
Probably.
I don't know.
I think it's pretty obvious.
To be honest, I think a better way to explain it would be to say it was a dead hooker.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't take money. She just has sex.
Yeah, I'm sorry, officers. I've just dragged this body home because I need some parts of it for my monster.
But it seems less sad, though, you know.
Why? Why does
a
it
dead
seem
hooker,
less sad?
meaning
Well, no, it's even sadder because the hooker's entire life is sad, and then it comes to a tragic end. That's it.
well,
That's
at
that's
least
the Monday
it's
afternoon
an indication
tearjerker.
you've got
That.
some form of life, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. And saying it was a dead hooker would probably make it seem like that guy was less sad and alone.
Exactly.
Bonnie Rosie's starting work next week. We'll enjoy. Hopefully that goes well for you.
Not by much if he's got to kill a hooker to get his jollies.
Hey, the second hour's free.
Yeah, Rosie. Hopefully that goes well for you.
That just means he's desperate and a psycho.
Well, if he's dragging a hooker, you know, it seems less desperate than having a.
It's even more desperate.
Monday to Friday is always starting. Wanted to fleet it for easy probability, didn't we? Yeah, I guess he didn't think of that anyway. Detention of Muslims at UK ports and airports. Structural Islamophobia.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck's sake.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So how
No,
many
it's,
of them had
it's
suicide
because
vets?
it's because the Muslims are the ones who do the suicide bombings and shit.
Anyway,
How
there are
would-
plenty of
how-
people that get fucking detained. There are many people that get detained at fucking airports.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
They could be
do that.
searched.
everything that happened.
Yeah.
They could be
It's very
searched at any
common.
point for any reason, you know. Like
I
they could
know.
be like, "Oi, get here!"
The standard thing that happens
And
to
then
fucking security. It's
Yeah,
normal.
there was a backpack that I used in the army where it still had traces of C4 in it. You know what happened when I forgot that was with the bag with C4 in it and went and tried to check it at the airport. A very long and uncomfortable conversation with TSA.
Muslims are being detained at ports and airports for up to 6 hours by law enforcement using controversial counter-terrorism powers. So they're supporting anything there.
Perfect.
Is it just stop and search? Is that what they're complaining about?
Rather
Probably.
than just
Look,
complaining about it again.
all I'm saying is maybe don't be walking around with a turban and a man dressed with no luggage.
Listen,
Yeah.
It could be the
if your
women with the
religion stopped
letterboxes.
blowing people up, you'd stop being stopped.
Exactly. Quit. Exactly.
but
Quit. Exactly. Tell your people to
it's-
quit blowing shit up.
It's the religion of peace. That's why they've got
And also,
guns up, so there's
cosplaying
some peace
letterboxes don't
peace
help,
there.
does it?
I'm sure there's all just a whole great big disavow for Scotty. So what we're saying is that Muslims are terrorists, and they deserve to be detained at airports.
Fucking hell, disavow.
No, not all Muslims are terrorists, but so
Anyway,
far, all
anyway.
terrorists have been Muslims.
Anyway.
Many of them fuck goats now.
Anyway, let me see. Thank you, Cryptic, for the £5. I don't know this tune, but I'm going down, down, baby. Your street in a Range Rover. Come on. Street sweeping, baby. Cooked, ready to let it go. Hot shit, swimmy, swimmy, cool. Go what? Listen to it pound like it up and take a puff. Pass it to me. No W. There you go. Thank you, Cryptic, for the £5.
Officially better singing than Peter Almond.
Oh yeah,
I've heard that song before. I've never heard it said with those words.
Army,
Anyway,
my cat is a better singer than Peter Armand.
like,
is
share, and
true.
subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Back to the fucking thing. Yeah, Muslims are being detained at airports and ports for up to 6 hours by law enforcement using controversial counter-terrorism powers. So disproportionately, the practice has become Islamophobic, according to human rights group Cage. No, maybe if we didn't disproportionately make up most of the terror, then
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
And
just
maybe-
concentrating on the free flying lessons that the Muslims give to homosexuals.
And maybe if they didn't have so much traces of goat around their penises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, once again, don't. Once
So you're
again,
gonna have the
don't-
fucking police at your door tomorrow, aren't you?
once again, don't be.
Oh,
once
we're
again,
all gonna have police knocking at our door tomorrow.
not me.
Fuck
I'm an American.
Oh, yeah, that is
not
true.
me. I don't have a door.
No. Look, you can't wear a fucking turban to the airport and then complain that you're getting
Muslims
stopped.
don't wear
no.
turbans. Muslims don't wear turbans. It's
Yeah.
Sikhs that wear turbans.
You know what I mean.
You mean
Sorry,
a tea towel held on the head with a pair of underpants?
Who's to say they aren't shoving cocaine up there or some shit?
No,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
Mexicans that are shoving cocaine up their ass.
Yeah, and the Brazilians put it in women's fake tits.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's heroin, considering it's the Middle East.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, just miles and miles of opium fields.
Mm-hmm.
If the organization added there's growing anecdotal evidence that Muslim women are being forced to remove their headscarves when stopped, even though the rate
Anecdotal evidence.
leads to conviction 0.007% of the time, according to the cages.
That's
Anecdotal evidence.
that's the one anecdotal evidence is the single lowest form of evidence, and also
Yeah.
that's every counterterrorism program when it at airports and ports. And do you know what the TSA's is rates are for success? Less than that. But yet I still have to walk through a cancer machine every time I get on a plane.
Yeah, everyone gets fucking checked. It's a standard thing.
It is. It is.
When I'm seeing a 90-year-old man in a wheelchair getting patted down, no, you don't get to complain.
But
Once again, it's because of you muzzies that's even a thing. Because you
Considering how
just want
C4 seems to be as sticky as cocaine.
Casey
you guys
has
probably-
complained to the policing regulator, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, on behalf of 10 people. We've written to NPs and all party groups on British Muslims to spell out the extent of its concerns with so-called Schedule 7 stops.
because you
In the
were
letter,
But even then, the countries they're coming from are high risk of drugs as well. It's,
yeah,
Amongst other
it's
things.
not just, it's not just the fact that terrorism is
because
so
heroin,
high from...
Yeah.
comes from there.
Exactly.
It's not just
Yes.
drugs.
Yes.
It's,
And the same will be done if they're
human
from South
trafficking.
America. Same will be done if they're from Africa.
Yep.
Same would be done if they're from Vietnam or some Asian country of that nature. It's just standard procedure,
California.
but these people are overly bitching about it.
because they have a massive victim complex.
They're bitching because it's a white dominant country doing it to non-white people, and we all know that white people are evil.
Of course they are.
Yeah, it's
Joe
somehow
Biden-
Why do I
Why
argue
white
with
people's
logistics?
Joe Biden's
Why do I
Patriot Act was
argue
wrote back
with
in the 1980s.
And for anybody in the chat, yes.
Convenient crisis to push through.
For anybody in the chat,
Convenient crisis to push through.
for anybody in the chat, yes, I am making fun of the EU.
No, fuck the EU.
Fuck the EU
addressed me.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
fuck
it's my
anyone that
avatar, have
voted
you?
for the
and the UN.
remain.
Yeah, Kerry said it had made a complaint to the policing regulator, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, on behalf of 10 people who had written to MPs on the all-party group on British Muslims to spell out the extent of its concerns with so-called Schedule 7 stops. In the letter, Adnan Foreign, the director of Cage, said that tens of thousands of people being subject to substantial stops. The practice is manifested as structural Islamophobia, which is experienced as harassment. Even though many people get checked, and
And I bet you the Brazilians don't complain when they get searched.
The Mexicans probably don't.
fucking
Yeah,
forward.
especially
You
the
guys-
gay ones.
Yeah, do you guys even have Mexicans over there?
No,
Actually, there's three. I know three.
I guess our version is probably Polish.
yeah, I'd say Eastern Europe. Yeah,
But how good are the Polish at mowing lawns? Because that is what Mexicans are best at.
the Eastern Europeans.
Just a
are
fucking
like
vow.
Brooklyn.
I don't know. I don't know about the one thing. The fucking Poles are They work like fucking robots.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
And every time you tell them a joke, they turn around and say, "Does not compute."
And the
It's
fucking
not
just-
funny.
One Briton, O'Meara, who was only asked to be identified by his first name, told the Guardian he'd been stopped 40 times while returning to the UK since 2005.
well,
And never been convicted of any offence.
You can tell you live in a terrible
What a
country.
reliable source.
You can tell you
Considering
live
that
in
they were
a
only
one
referring him to
fucking
the
guy.
first name.
you can tell you live in a terrible country when the Mexicans aren't even trying to get in.
yeah.
We have taxes, but not many Mexicans.
Well,
Yeah, and also
I would assume
if since he said that he'd been stopped 40 times, right? And
For 40
Since
times in
two-
14 years.
so
So 10 times a year.
so if you're going anywhere 10 times a year, you're gonna get stopped no matter what.
yeah, that's
My
sort of
pasty white
suspicious
ass would get-
traveling.
You're not 10 times a year. Man, that's awful, man.
Yeah, my pasty white ass would get stopped for that because that's
It's just
that's considered
suspicious as
suspicious
fuck.
traveling.
Like, how the fuck
you-
do you
you know-
manage to make,
You know how a Muslim gets through customs without being stopped and searched. He flashes his ISIS card and they let him straight into the UK. Yeah,
Well, speaking of ISIS, at least they're doing a better job at keeping them out, but still not 100%.
yeah. Also,
Yeah,
And
they-
also-
but I mean, Trudeau is willingly taking them all in, so they're probably all headed
O'Meara
over
said,
to
I get
Canada.
stopped 95% of the time come back from Belgium, France, and Italy. He said he becomes so fed up with being repeatedly questioned, he often used one-word answers to reply.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound suspicious.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
that's not going to help the suspicion thing.
No, it's not.
One-word answers. It just seems like you're being tense. For
It just seems like you've got stuff to hide.
exactly.
Former medical professor O'Meara was stopped. He's also a former medical professor, so yeah, that makes even more sense now. He's getting stopped.
damn.
And even then, like, it's like, and when he's using one-word answers, he's probably being quite passive-aggressive about it, which
Yeah,
again doesn't help.
I have things to hide. Who doesn't? Yeah, but that's not a good thing when you're getting questioned at customs and stuff. Former medical professor O'Meara was stopped at Heathrow returning from Lahore, Pakistan, after the flight in which he had helped a teenager having a fit. But on leaving the plane, he was nevertheless questioned. This is a law that is impossible to beat. Schedule 7 of the Terrorist Act 2000 allowed people to be detained at the border for up to 6 hours. If law enforcement is concerned, they could have engaged in terrorist activities. Detainees have no right to silence, must surrender their phones, computers, and passwords, and provide fingerprints on DNA on request.
But even then, you forfeit those devices if they think you're going to overstay your work, you know?
Yeah. One of Cage's complaints is that the Home Office does not respond to Freedom of Information requests breaking down a study of people who stop by their religion. It's not by their religion, it's by their deemed of.
It's probably because they don't really record that. It's like, who records the people that you stop based on religion?
Nobody. It's based on whether or not they're deemed to be a terrorist or a drug trafficker or something like that.
Yeah, whether or not
Or
you're
acting as
considered
suspiciously as
suspicious person.
Omar.
Yeah.
Oh Christ, he gets shot.
Oh my burping. Yeah, well, Rosie, everyone does it. This is my stream. I can burp if I want to.
It's my live stream and I'll burp if I want to. Burp if I want to.
Breaking down the number of people stopped by their religion, a study conducted by Cambridge University researchers in 2014 concluded 88% of those stopped were Muslim. Oh, well.
First
How
of
many
all, what was the
ta-
sample size? Secondly, within what time frame? Thirdly, I actually haven't got a third.
Thirdly, what airports this? How many people were studied? How many people did you study, for example, as well?
Just the ones that they thought would fit this narrative.
Yeah.
Like details, people.
London,
we need a
probably
What
just
airports did you
Heathrow.
use? How many different countries did you? How many different countries did you research for this as well? Was it just one?
One, probably.
It should be one airport in the UK somewhere. One airport, probably just Heathrow.
like how
Yeah,
many airports within
yeah,
the
see- yeah,
UK
see-
was studied?
Yeah, see, something like that. That's that's like just blatantly looking for trouble where it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get
It's
don't get me
almost
wrong.
as if they wanted-
I'm sure there's unwarranted stop and search and stuff. There always is, but it's like when it's like the way that this is written. Yeah, but it's like the way this is written. It's very clear that they just had they had a narrative first, and then just looked for stuff that would support that narrative.
But that's not just confined to Muslims, though. It's confined to everyone.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like, how did they get that 88% figure anyway?
They probably pulled out their arse.
More than
And
likely.
even then, they also probably have to account for, the population in general.
Yeah, and what airports
Yeah.
or something.
Like, so many factors are being missed out in this. At this point, it's just
Being
fucking misleading.
blatantly ignored.
Cage has compiled a dossier summarizing its complaints about Schedule 7, which is partly based on a string of case studies which it has compiled. Sadiqui said that the organization had noticed that recently a number of Muslim women have been asked to remove their hijab at Schedule 7 stop. Why is that such a big deal?
I
Because-
highly doubt it was just a hijab. I'm pretty sure it would have been a burqa at that point.
Ship searches are pretty common.
Ooh, fun.
And even then, I'd probably tell someone to take off their burqa if they look like a letterbox as well.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
look.
does
Yeah,
have a religion
it's-
category in its
it's-
own fact? Sorting by
Yeah.
religion be a worthwhile feature.
Just
Take it off. Take it off.
do what I do. I make sure. Do what I do when I have to go through airport security. I make sure I have a hard on when I do it, just to make them as uncomfortable as possible.
And considering only men will touch you for a strip search, that's probably slightly gay.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught by a gay fucking stop and search, aren't you?
And when
No.
to the MPs, Cage's director added, "This request this seems not to correlate with any appropriate investigation in relation to any form of terrorism, but seems to be a form of humiliation that amount to a breach of equalities legislation."
But
Women
then-
returning from America was stopped and held at an airport for 5 hours, according to the Cage dossier. Despite having felt unwell on the plane, she was separated from her husband and son, asked for fingerprints, DNA sample, her luggage was searched, and her phone was taken.
Wait,
Pretty standard
So-
stuff.
that
Yeah,
sounds.
pretty standard
That
stuff.
could potentially be her with drugs in her body,
Possibly.
Because sickness, is still a symptom of carrying drugs.
Yeah.
Just drugs that are up your ass.
Mm.
Especially if she went to the toilet very often during that flight as well. That makes it even more suspect.
Exactly. But even then, it just comes to this point. They're looking at it just from the perspective of terrorism, but not looking at any other avenues. First of all,
No.
to assume that they're only being searched for terrorism is kind of fucking, they're doing
Only
what they
because-
claim to hate.
And they're only being searched because they're Muslims.
Exactly. It's hypocritical of them.
Of course it is.
And the fact that they are unwilling to look at other factors as to why someone would get stopped. Hell, fuck it. You could get stopped for having too much liquids.
They're only looking at factors that support their agenda.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
I mean, let's face it, both sides do the same thing, but
Oh, yeah. There's always
yeah.
an inherent bias somewhere.
Yeah, the woman asked what she thought of the 2017 Westminster terror attack and wars in Syria and Yemen. Said, "I didn't agree with killing innocent people." She recalled before being released, having been told, "You have complied with the law." Muslims say that questions frequently focus on their religious beliefs. When asked if they pray frequently, if they pray fast, if they have been to Mecca. Citation needed, I guess.
Exactly. It's this is
Citation needed
just
on
anecdotal
everything
evidence.
here. Yeah, they even said this is just anecdotal, which anecdotal evidence is not fucking evidence.
Like, this whole article could
Rule
be
number
fucking
one.
discarded at this point.
Yeah. Rule number one. Rule number one, anecdotal evidence is fucking worthless.
Yep.
Because here's the thing. People lie.
It's not just people lie.
And also
people
Misremember as well.
Yeah, people misremember stuff. That's why eyewitness testimony is the lowest form of evidence in court.
Memory is like one of the most fickle things on the planet.
It's
have
extremely
you ever been
fickle.
invited to take part in a police lineup? Not
And
because
also,
you get invited because you fit the description, and because you're known that you couldn't have taken part in whatever you've been. You'll get somebody. I've done it a few times, and you get somebody on to go down the lineup, and they'll pick somebody, and then they're asked to go and have a cup of coffee, come back, and they'll do it 3 times, and 9 times out of 10, each time they'll pick somebody different.
Yeah.
I'd stop ugly people.
I like how they go full scientific about it.
And the whole thing is done in such a way to make you feel that you are doing something wrong simply for practicing Islam. So the filmmaker
No, the whole thing is done to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. So if you actually are doing something wrong, you'll get even more uncomfortable and more than likely,
So the
That's
filmmaker
something
in Syria on this occasion was traveling
And also,
to Amsterdam via Dover. And semantics will say you're wrong. What do you mean by that, Blanco? Eyewitness testimony in court is the highest form of evidence.
No, it isn't. It is the lowest form of eyewitness testimony in court is the lowest form of evidence, especially in criminal cases.
Well, it
you
depends.
can't even go.
She's in Canada. She's in Canada, so it could be different for her.
You can't even take him to the Crown Court if you don't have anything, to top that witness statement off.
But then she's in Canada.
To be fair,
so
in this
it
case,
could be different in Canadian court.
Eyewitness cases, eyewitness evidence is generally just what you use to open the case.
Exactly.
It's used as like the little sprinkles on top of the actual scientific evidence that you have, saying, hey, this guy's blood was at the crime scene, and so he was clear. And on top of that, witnesses have said that they saw him in the area around that time.
Exactly.
The most important thing is the fact that his blood's sitting there at the crime scene, and it's just a little supplementary fact that people said that they saw him there.
It can't have many, but you can just use it as one thing.
In U.S. courts, circumstantial evidence can only be used to verify empirical evidence.
Same over here.
Big problem with this story is this isn't exactly eyewitness testimony. This is one man making an accusation.
Rango says she's backstage, but there's too many people on the stream right now.
I'll hop off for a second.
Do
I
you
know.
want to hop
Unless-
off?
No,
Green
no,
or-
no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, hey, you didn't have to kick anybody. I was cool patiently sitting back here.
Oh,
No,
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 it
fine,
was either Green Thunder or
Green
me
Thunder
hopping up
volunteered.
anyway, so.
But yes, I'm playing with my avatar.
I wouldn't say
unless,
eyewitness
it's a lot of
testimony
fun.
is the lowest form of anything in the court of law because there have been some cases where witnesses will die because they're the ones that are going to put somebody in jail. So it's not as low as you think it is. It's not the highest form of evidence you can present, but it's also not the lowest form. And I'm talking about American court systems, by the way.
Yeah. The thing with
Yeah.
witnesses dying, that's when they're like would be considered like the star witness. They're like they are completely essential to that case. Like
But even then,
their case
it's
built
sort of
is
that.
being heavily focused around that testimony.
Yeah, but how can a star witness be a star witness if they're not using eyewitness testimony.
It's because
But
they
even
haven't
then,
just witnessed
all other
one of.
evidence has to be there before that witness can be a star
Yeah,
witness.
there has to.
Also,
It has
Star-
because it has to
Star
be.
Wit- also, a star witness is heavily involved with
The empirical evidence of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not just somebody who
Yeah, but
saw
they could
something
remember
happen.
it wrong.
It's
They
not
could
just-
remember it wrong, right?
But it's not just somebody who saw something happen once. It's somebody who's been involved in it. So many times they know it by heart. It's
It's someone with an association to a crime family.
Yeah, a lot of times these star witnesses, like the mafia boss's bookkeeper.
Or it's like someone who was undercover, it's usually someone who cut a deal and flipped, or someone who was undercover. Either way, it's someone who was heavily involved with the entire affair.
Well, that's why eyewitness testimony isn't a reliable thing. Because stories can change varying on person to person.
I think you're conflating two things. The way people usually describe it is saying the brain can play so many tricks on you that it's the lowest form of evidence, but it is still valued highly in the court of law. I think you're conflating two statements, one from the realm of science and one from the realm of the court of law. I remember Neil deGrasse Tyson actually making a joke about this, saying it is the lowest form of evidence and it's still valued very highly in the court of law, and he started laughing about it.
Well, as we've said, there is.
It is also because
it's a sprinkle on top, really. It's sort of
that's what's it's used to supplement the case, not to build the case.
Oh man.
And the second thing I have contention with is not all anecdotal evidence is completely worthless.
No, but it shouldn't be relied upon though.
But then that's assuming that. The anecdotal evidence we are referring to is reinforced by almost nothing. It's extremely flimsy.
When it comes to a study, when it comes to a study like they're claiming right now, it shouldn't be used. Anecdotal evidence should not be used in the case of a study. So that was my thing with this.
If the statement was in this study, anecdotal evidence means nothing, I would agree. But if you're going to say in general anecdotal evidence means nothing, I would have to disagree.
Not, it does. Especially when it's not supported by anything else.
It doesn't mean nothing, but it means very little.
You sure about that?
It could lead you a certain way, but it doesn't provide much in the grand scale of things. Other forms of evidence are significantly more important.
Yeah.
Because I can give a specific case where anecdotal evidence kind of meant everything.
Well, give us.
I'm not saying it can't be used. It can't be used. It shouldn't be used in the case of a study. That's all.
Yeah, the case of the study, no, but in general, I beg to differ. My twins would be one of them.
Of course, in a court of law, anecdotal evidence is used quite a lot in the courts of law.
Yes, like for example, there was a study done on my twins. My twins were born at 24 weeks of age, and what we found was when they were 2 days after they were born, they had a personality, which led doctors to start thinking from our anecdotal evidence that actually there's more brain function than we actually previously believed in the womb at 24 weeks of age. So anecdotal evidence can have its merit, and it can actually mean a whole lot. And most of my testimony with my twins is all anecdotal.
It's
gotta be make a generalized statement versus a relevant statement.
And this might sound a little bit harsh, but they were displaying signs of progression. There was already something there.
Yeah, there was already,
and it was you. Making
once again that was it was your anecdotal evidence that supplemented those whatever scientific and medical evidence they had
back
for
to the article. Mohammed Rabini Cage, international director, said the discrimination faced by Muslim travelers highlights how embedded Islamophobia is in Schedule 7 and in broader counterterrorism power as well. Who creates them? Who is a group that has the most terrorism?
Muslims. Oh, sorry, I had to clear my throat. Muslims.
I routinely ask intrusive questions about religion and practice, which aligns to modern day Inquisition.
The Inquisition. What a show.
Figures
No one
related
expects
to
the
use of
Islamic
Schedule 7
Inquisition.
only date back to 2010, but still there have been over 400,000 stops since then. In the year to March 2019, 11,000 were stopped. Stops were conducted down from 85,000 in the year to March 2010. David Miranda, the partner of former Guardian journalist Glenn Greenwald, was controversially detained at Heathrow Airport under the Counter-Terrorism Act 2013 for carrying files relating to information obtained by US whistleblower Edward Snowden. The Home Office spokesperson said the use of Schedule 7 is vital to police in their work to combat terrorism. And the officers report are clearly misrepresenting facts to fit their own predetermined conclusions. You couldn't have put it better myself, to be honest.
You probably could if you tried hard.
Well, I can't be arsed trying hard right now.
Oh, fair enough.
I didn't get any sleep.
Oh, I think Trucker left as well.
He said in the chat that he had a dead spot.
Well, I didn't get any sleep last night, so no, I'm not going to try hard.
Yeah, I noticed.
So
How did you notice?
How many people have
when
not
I
had
said
proper
bye,
sleep?
You were posting things like 30 minutes later, and I'm like, oh, he's still not sleeping. All right, cool.
Hang on me.
Plus, we also talked quite a bit till pretty late, which would have been the wee hours of the morning for you. So, the evidence. I mean, it's purely anecdotal, but,
It's
no,
It is purely anecdotal.
that's not anecdotal.
That was like 3 hours after I started speaking to you. So
and I was kidding about that. It's purely anecdotal. That was a joke.
I figured, but I say there has to be someone here to kill people's jokes. And if Scotty's going to do it to me all the time, I'm going to do it to you because I'm angry about it.
You have a grudge, so you're going to do it to someone else now.
Yes. So Blind Girl's now has to do that. Now has to kill someone else's jokes. It's all Scotty's fault, though.
Oh no, I'm not going to pass the buck on killing somebody else's joke. I'm just going to wait for you to try to make another one and kill it. I don't take it out on other people. I push back the person that's pissing me off. Unless it's press, then that's a different story.
Really, you have to bring that up on here?
Hell yeah! We've gone through most of the stream. We've gone through most of the stream drama free. There has to be drama somewhere involved. This is this group.
There are certain people that when I'm angry, I'll just take it out on them because it's fun. But most of the time, I will just sniper the person who's pissing me off.
Ditch cars to meet climate change targets, says MPs.
Oh, fuck off!
This title is stupid.
What?
Ditch cars. People will have to get out of their cars if the UK is to meet climate change targets. MPs say.
Yeah, that's
well,
good.
the UK just won't meet its climate change targets, then will it?
Never gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, the Science and Technology Select Committee says technology alone cannot solve the problem of greenhouse gas emissions from transport.
Here's an idea. How about the fucking politicians shit quit at give up flying around in their fucking private jets?
Well, how about this? We stop buying Chinese goods to incentivize them to actually make their machines better.
Oh, because that's racist.
And because they own most of the industry with the materials that we need to build our technology. So either way, we're going to be dealing with China.
I think 3K miles a month.
The problem is, like, countries like China and India, they use like some really old shit in order to produce their stuff, and then they're wondering why there's so much greenhouse gases in the air.
Or is it greenhouse gases?
So the government cannot use.
They own a capital on all the things we need, and therefore there's no Western countries to compete and do it greener. So they can do what they want.
No,
well, it's not the fact that they're doing it greener, it's the fact that they're doing it cheaper.
That too.
Yeah, China's also fucking highly polluted, though. Like, yeah, cars are one of the most heavily legislated mode of transport there is, yeah. It says the government cannot achieve sufficient emission cuts by swapping existing vessels for cleaner versions. The government said it would consider the committee's findings. It really shouldn't. I mean, fucking, you're saying get rid of cars. That's not going to happen. How the hell are you supposed to get around?
Apparently horseback.
Bicycles,
Oh no, you can't use horses because of the amount of greenhouse gases a horse emits.
bicycles, scooters, rollerblades, skateboards.
Pogo
People
sticks.
say buses and stuff, but then buses will just have the same problem, won't they? Really?
Then I know that fucking 10 years later there's going to be an article about cyclist dies due to exhaustion.
In the report, the committee said in a long-term widespread personal vessel ownership does not appear to be compatible with significant decarbonisation. It echoes the report from an Oxford-based group of academics who warned that even electric cars produce pollution through tires and brakes.
And through the power stations that they're getting their energy off, but
What the fuck's your fucking? Well, what is your fucking alternative here then?
exactly. That's the
trains and
problem.
buses, because trains and buses and planes will still produce pollution anyway. So
The problem is we're at the point where most things that we do in order to reduce carbon emissions have been done. And we're at that point that if we do any more, we risk turning back the technology that we use. We would have
because it's
to...
going to get rid of cars now.
Exactly. Like, we would be going back in technological advancement if we keep on going to the whims of environmentalism.
Yep.
We'd also
Yeah,
be
yeah,
going
the-
back in carbon emissions because a lot of these new green products actually take more pollution to make than the original thing we're replacing.
Once again, has
Exactly.
anyone ever seen a lithium mine? I promise you that creates way more fucking pollution
Yes, it
than an
does.
oil pump.
Yeah, the AA said the committee had underestimated the power of new technology to solve pollution in cars. The MPs are demanding improvements in public transport, walking and cycling, which benefit health as well as climate. What happens to people who can't walk and bike to their work? And what happens if you work quite far away from where you live? You're fucked then, aren't
Or how it's like where I live, where people work. Since I live very near a state border, people will work in one state and live in a different one.
Or
And also-
Canada, where there's shit tons of snow that nothing would ever want to trudge through.
And also the crime rates that, I'm pretty sure a car with more armor would be a little bit safer to be in than a bike where you risk getting stabbed and shot.
They also criticise
Or
the
do-
government policies on the cost of transport. They point out that most of the increase in average new car emissions in 2017 was caused by consumers choosing more polluting models because of financial incentives to buy cleaner cars are inefficient. A government strategy should aim to reduce overall number of vessels required. The report says this to be improved by promoting and improving public transport. Well, planes and buses and trains and stuff will still fucking pollute anyway, so it doesn't really solve your problem.
And if anyone's been in a tube, yeah, improving the quality, especially when it's over fucking crowded.
Yeah, reducing the cost of public transport relative to driving, encouraging vessel usership in place of ownership. Well, if everyone's using usership, then how the fucking hell are people supposed to have cars then? Like really?
I think they're not supposed to have cars. I think that's
Yeah, that's
I think that's the point.
once again.
If more people share cars and nobody owns a car, then there's no cars to share, is there?
Once again, and if we listen to the crazy environmentalists, we'd be living in the early 1800s still.
Oh, you think we'd be that advanced?
Probably not.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Because there was still some level of industry then.
Yeah,
But then-
We're living in
Not
huts made of our
only
own
would we
fucking
living
shit. That's
in
what
the-
we're living. Huts made of our own
Sorry.
shit.
But it's not
We-
only that we'd be living in the Stone Age, it would also be the government controls everything, so we're fucked.
we'd be living in
Ministers have held down fuel duty increases in recent years, following lobbying and promoting groups. But the MPs say they would ensure An annual increase in fuel duty is never lower than the increase in rail fares. I'm going to say X out on that one, but then if they up the fucking price of fuel, then they're going to up the fucking price of fucking buses and trains and stuff anyway.
Yep.
But even then, like, do they not think that bikes also cause pollution during its production? You know?
No, they don't.
Not if they're made of wood.
Literally, fucking everything produces pollution when it's on its way, when it's being made.
Fucking hell, imagine a fucking wooden bike. Yeah, that would end well.
Yeah, wooden
Splinters
chain,
everywhere.
brakes, wooden.
Probably died after crashing into a tree.
Hey, Arms Killer, did you actually hear about the wooden bike? Yeah,
I have
wooden
not.
wheels,
No.
wooden wheels, wooden chain, wooden gear, wooden brakes, wooden go.
At this point,
For
it would be
drivers
better
investing
to
in-
just. At this point, you might as well prop everything up by bricks.
For drivers investing in electric vessels, there should be a better network of charging ports. Well, where the fuck does the power for the charging ports come from? More than likely a fucking factory that produces pollution.
I've got some real ecological disaster news for you. The Amazon rainforest is on fire.
It's been on fire for a while now.
Yeah, I know.
But there's a warning that more research is needed on the environment impact of.
And also, nuclear power is not exactly the safest thing on the planet.
It is.
Actually, yes, it is.
It actually is. Nuclear power is the future, and people who aren't on board with that are just afraid of it because it has the word nuclear in it.
They have to
You know what I
decommission
think
them
killed
like
nuclear power? I
every
think
20,
I
30
think-
years or something. No, not 20, 30 years. But they do have to decommission it at some point. It's inherently designed to be decommissioned.
I think the Simpsons killed nuclear power. To be honest, this is my opinion.
What did the Simpsons do to kill nuclear power?
Oh, think
To be
about
fair,
it.
Chernobyl didn't help matters.
I
think-
disagree. I think Chernobyl was brilliant. It made people realise how exciting nuclear power is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am so excited about melting from the inside out.
If it wasn't for Chernobyl, we wouldn't have Green Thunder.
Yeah, the report warns that hydrogen technology may prove to be cheaper and less environmentally damaging than battery-powered electronic vessels. The government should not rely on a single technology. Well, it's not the fucking government's job to do this, you know. It's the market's job.
Yeah.
We're going to
Not the government.
end up seeing wooden trucks that are driven by sail power.
It was the fucking government's job. We'll go back to fucking horse and cart again.
Yeah. Government regulation on this does not work, and Ford and Chevrolet are proof of it because once like catalytic converters and stuff started becoming a thing, and the way the emissions are measured is in parts per million. There has to be a certain number of parts per million, as in however many parts of these particles that are allowed per every million parts of air. What Ford and Chevrolet did, they just upped how much air was getting pushed out, so the parts per million went down without actually fucking changing anything.
The AE's president Edmund Keane told BBC News, stating that widespread personal vessel ownership isn't compatible with significant decarbonization, seems to be giving up on emerging science on technology. No, it's just using what's there until a better one can be developed, and the price goes down and things like that.
And even then, this idea of just completely dishing fossil fuels
Speeding the
is a stupid idea anyway.
ship will only end up causing more damage than it solves.
Like, I honestly think... Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Want to go on, Skiller?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking the best... Like, why are we dishing fossil fuels when we could be trying to make fossil fuels more efficient and then thus less of a pollutant? Because that's really it. It's
Fossil fuels, there's only a finite amount we need to. We really do need to find a sustainable energy source because every
But even then, what I mean is
every
that
4 or 5 years, our energy demands are growing geometrically. We're going to reach a point where we're demanding more energy than we are able to produce.
But even then, what I mean by making said technology more efficient, much of how power stations work are very similar in nature. It's often a turbine that turns between alternating current.
It's always a turbine.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
if we can make that sort of power generation more efficient, not necessarily right at the fossil fuels end, but quite at that aspect,
Yeah.
so
So
we
it's
can
like
apply that to more technology, ultimately improving those as well.
One
with the
hypothetical idea is if you could drill a shaft down far enough, you wouldn't need a fuel source because you'd have all the heat you require to turn your turbine from the earth.
it's like
Geothermal.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
Matrix
with-
talk, sir.
with
That is what?
I said that is Matrix referencing, sir.
no, with
Not older than the Matrix, pet.
with fossil fuels and stuff of our I can't remember what like the other efficiency rates are, but with the thermal efficiency of fossil fuels, as in like how much we get out for the heat and stuff, 30%. Which I actually agree with both of you guys that we should be looking for a more renewable power source or nuclear power, but also we still need to be working on how we can make the fossil fuels we have and use make it be more efficient with them.
At the moment, all the major countries in the world are experimenting with developing fusion reactors. Fusion reactors be a lot safer than our current fission fusion reactors and a lot more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Well, TC, we're talking about like different fueling sources. I think it should be up to the market really just to decide it.
Yeah, if it's a good idea,
let the market dictate what the best fuel and the most efficient fuel is.
Yeah, it's a good idea. The market will support it.
I think what we'll need to do is convince the Middle Eastern countries to start researching.
No, the government's fault. Don't speed up this process because you're only going to end up causing more damage, aren't you?
I think what we need to do is convince the Middle Eastern countries to start investing in research into magic power stations.
Technology is developing at a rapid rate with great potential.
I'm pretty sure. Sorry.
Electric and hydrogen fuel vessels on you. More emphasis should be going on to renewable energy and greener vessel production rather than higher fuel duty or banning hybrids, as the report recommends. Fastest growth in traffic is by vans due to internet deliveries, so more technological effort should be put into decarbonisation in that sector as a priority.
That's the problem with these hybrid vehicles.
Renewables are.
They're actually putting out a lot more pollutants than water vapor, as I reckon. And water vapor is the biggest greenhouse gas you can get.
Well, look at solar panels, for example. When solar panels die, the stuff they emit is toxic to the environment.
Yep.
And they are way too goddamn expensive and inefficient to be a viable power source. Because you do not get very much power at all out of solar panels.
And that's assuming it works.
That's why the Chinese have cornered the market in them, because they can produce them quickly and cheaply. Unfortunately, they're crap, break easily, and leak worse than anything you can get in the West.
And they live in Scotland, so a solar panel is pointless as fuck.
Exactly. It's
you basically have to live in a literal desert for it to actually be worth, where you'd actually get any kind of fucking
and
power.
That's assuming that it doesn't just break. You know,
generally, solar energy it's only useful on a small scale. I mean, the watch I've got on my wrist, for example, it's a solar powered wristwatch.
Yeah, I have a portable phone charger that's solar paneled. That's solar powered.
Once every 7-8 months, I'll have to leave it on the windowsill for 24 hours, and it's charged for another 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, it really only works on a small scale.
Yeah.
MP's report stretches beyond transport to cover the whole economy. Its general message is that not enough is being done to ensure the UK achieves its recently adopted net zero carbon target by 2050. The report says stamp duty should be increased for badly insulated homes. Home buyers should be able to make improvements and offset the cost with stamp duty rebate. Another idea in the wide-ranging document for the UK is to set for reducing emissions embedded in the manufacturing process of the goods we buy from abroad. We buy from abroad. This would prevent Britain from achieving cuts in greenhouse gases while exporting what's left of its own polluting industries. The big beans make it higher. Probably not.
Now, the best way to stop polluting industries is to stop building orbital factories.
The MPs backed many of the recommendations of the government's official advisory board body, Committee on Climate Change. They complained that its chair, Lord David, should have declared the interest.
I seriously think about it. If you had all your polluting industries, say, in orbit, or even better, on the moon, yeah, the pollution on Earth is going to be really negligible, isn't it?
I hear a truck.
At least it'll be a more temporary, at least it would be a temporary rise in emissions than, a more steady one.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in the when you're in purgatory, can you just put in the YouTube chat instead of the StreamYard chat? I can't see the StreamYard chat. They complained that Chair Lord Devon should have declared an interest of his constituency firm in Drax Power Station, the largest distributor of renewable energy subsidies in the country, and Johnson Math, which is about to make the huge investment in electronic vessels. The government spokesman said, from transport to heating, electricity to agriculture, we are working to put the right measures to help us tackle global energy, global warming. We welcome the committee's report and consider its findings. They're going further in context of climate change than any other major economy, having legislated for zero net emissions by 2050. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? I can tell you right now.
It's an unrealistic target.
It is.
Extremely.
Like
All
even
their fucking
a net
targets are extremely
0%.
unrealistic.
It's like,
oh, I've got a great idea. We get like 100 vegans, right? Put them in this power station on treadmills and hang tofu in front of them.
not gonna lie, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Or we get a bunch of fat people put them on treadmills and do the same thing. But hang up donuts in front of them. We still get power, and also we're helping the fat people.
Yeah,
I was also thinking strapping suicide vests onto Islamists and blowing them up.
Well, that seems like that would be a solution to a lot of problems, but not this particular one.
True.
Well, you could use the explosion as a way to generate energy.
You can't have a Muslim-powered reactor.
No, that is just nothing but disaster waiting to happen. That would probably make Chernobyl look like a fucking joke.
Well, hey, at least we
a reactor powered entirely by Muslims.
Dealing with the.
By the way, disavow.
We'd be dealing with the carbon. Oh yeah.
I refuse to disavow anything. I refuse to disavow anything that has been said. I completely endorse all of it.
But at least you won't be having an SAS raid when these jokes come out.
Yeah, that's because I can.
Anyway, killing time, so anyone can have things to show.
I'll go first. And all right, in the chat, there's a link. Click that link. That link goes to my channel. Watch all my videos and give me your money. We got Sunday Fun Day is a thing again. Come on by. We'll laugh. We'll cry. We'll rage. Come by and see the best bad show you're ever gonna see.
Anyone else?
And if that doesn't sell you on it, you've got taste.
Be there or be a nerd.
Be there or be not around thing.
Anyone else?
Home Constructor Channel, Miss Daily Dash Camp starting again tomorrow morning, going to Springfield, Pennsylvania once again.
Anyone else? Phil?
Anyone
Blind
else?
girls do live trucking tonight.
Yeah. That's why I'm running to make a coffee. There is so blind trucking things going on tonight. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. It'll be in like
Over there in like
a half hour.
I'm already moist.
I wish Blind Girl could see my avatar.
I see your avatar.
Yeah,
There, here's an even better avatar though. What
Yeah.
Right there, right
God
there.
damn it.
Oh no!
shit.
Here's
My
an even better
avatar.
one. Here's an even better one.
No,
Yeah,
it could be like that.
we're all getting SAS rage. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Missing Coffee.
I'm going back to that.
Anyway.
Uh,
Let's
You
watch
still
that.
screwed us over.
Shut up!
There we
Turn
go.
in the fucking screen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, you're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye. See you same time
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Go away.
Sucks.
Finished.
Uh,
Now I've got